Tennessee Titans lose to the Jets in overtime. Question for y'all, did we deserve to win that game? I'm gonna give you the answer. No. Fade the intro. Welcome back to my channel. This is Workplace Sports Talk. I'm your guy, Tim, that talks where we talk sports as if we're at work. I'm not gonna lie, this video almost didn't get made. This game gave me the feeling of at the end of Malarkey's Era, which I did like Malarkey, but it gave me the same feeling. I remember we had that 2-game stretch where we went over to the West Coast and dropped all those games. But the deciding factor to me that got Malarkey fired was that Arizona game. We just blew that game. We gave it to them. We couldn't do anything. This game almost reminded me of that. It gave me that same feeling of that era where you just knew we were outcoached, outmanned, outgunned against a less superior team. That's what I felt here. Like, we had some good moments. We had way more bad moments. The only reason why we got to overtime is because they're a bad team. But the simple fact is we don't have a kicker. We don't have good tight ends. We don't have good DBs. I'm sorry, we don't have good DB play right now. We got decent DBs. Our offensive line is horrid, pitiful. All of them. All of them. Which is why we're in all the games. I feel bad for Rant. He can't get any time on 3rd and short, 3rd and long. He's getting murdered out there. He is a tough SOB. That's what this season is telling me right now. Tannehill is the guy for the Tennessee Titans and is one of the best quarterbacks since Steve McNair. He is right behind Steve McNair because he is taking a beating out there due to his offensive line. Receivers can't make plays. Like, they ain't helping them. I'm gonna go over some observations for the game on Sunday against the Jets. Titans did have a chance to tie with a field goal, but Randy Bullock missed a 49-yard field goal. Missed it badly. So we lost in overtime because we couldn't make a field goal or score a touchdown. That in a sense pretty much sums up this season. We just don't. Our special teams is lackluster. Our kicking game, lackluster. No faith. I just want them to go for it on every down. Punter, trash. I'd rather the Titans go for it on every down. I'll be honest with you. Keep Derrick Henry in there or McNichols. Give me a play. Give me a play from the playmakers. Quit putting the game in the hands of subpar players. I want the game in the hands of all our best players, especially Derrick Henry and Ryan Tannehill. The game needs to be sided with them, not with guys who can't beat out nobody kickers to then fall on our team after we fire a kicker who couldn't kick. I don't want that guy with the game in his hands. I don't want it. I'd rather take the chance of our stars getting the ball. Tennessee Titans took the game to overtime, which should have never happened. We should have steamrolled the Jets with Derrick Henry, who was running well. Only thing is we couldn't pass, but we should have steamrolled them. We didn't deserve to win that game. I'm almost glad we didn't win that game. So then the players, the fan base have time to reflect on what we actually have here, what kind of team we actually are. This is reflection moment because we are an average team to above average, depending on the opponent we're playing. Obviously, that's the case. We are going to play to the level of our opponents. So we're probably going to beat the Bills. And we're probably going to lose against Jacksonville. That's what's going to happen. Get ready, Titans fans. This is what we're in the road for. This is what's in our future. The major takeaway from this game is we got out-coached in almost every facet of the game. We didn't adjust protections. We didn't have good play calls on third down. Like, why are we taking 7-step drops or even 5-step drops on third down when the Jets' defensive line was just coming after Tannehill? Quisenberry couldn't do anything. Lewan couldn't do anything. Why did it take so long for us to adjust to that and still continue to try to force it down the Jets' throat when they're clearly were beating us, punching us in the face? No parrying this at all. We didn't parry. So we got out coached at every facet of this game. That's the more troubling thing, was the out coaching that we received from an 0-3 Jets. We couldn't out coach them. And we got manhandled. Vrabel's face said it all in most of the plays. He was just nothing. Numb face. He couldn't believe it. And I don't blame him. They probably barely even came up with a coaching plan. The plan was, we're going to throw the ball. We're going to run the ball with Derrick Henry. We're going to get up 21 points and we're going to leave. Easy game on to next week. So probably didn't have much game plan because it showed. More observations. Titans' offensive line is subpar. Quisenberry shouldn't be on the field. We got to do better there. I would say draft somebody, but we can't draft anybody there neither. It's official. Lewan is now an overpaid player. For his sake, I hope he is injured and he's playing through an injury, because if not, he's playing really bad. Lewan and Quisenberry look like the same player right now. The only difference is one is making millions where the other one's barely making hundred thousands, but they're playing the same. Trash, garbage. There was some good in the game, not much, but there was some players that did stand out. Derrick Henry, of course, stood out. Derrick Henry was 33 attempts for 157 yards for a 4.8 average and 1 touchdown. He also had 2 catches for 20 yards. Okay, he didn't get enough catches, but when he had the ball in his hands, he was doing his damn thing. Nichols also had a good game. He had 8 catches, 74 yards for a 9.3 average. He actually led the team with receiving yards. He was balling out yesterday. He was picking up a lot of slack from our subpar receiver play that we did have. Ryan Tannehill also had a strong game when he was upright. He was 30 for 49, 298 yards for a 9.9 average, 1 touchdown, and 7 sacks against him. The O-line let him get 7 sacks, as well as he got pressured all day long. That man stood strong and delivered the ball. Now, what the receivers did when he did it, that's another story, but he did his job. Henry did his job. Nichols did his job. O-line didn't do their job. Harold Landry balled out again. This guy is looking better and better every week. He had 7 tackles, 3 tackles for loss, and 1 sack. He was getting pressure all day. He was making Wilson run off the spot almost on every snap. Harold Landry is working his way into a really good contract and becoming a really good player for the Tennessee Titans. He was standing up a lot yesterday, and he was looking fast and decisive out there. Harold Landry is coming along, and he is making a name for himself, and I like what I'm seeing from him. His play is elevating. He is playing lights out right now. So congratulations, Harold Landry, for being a dominant player in our defensive line. Danico Autry also showed up. I like what they're doing with Bud Dupree being out and being insignificant to the Titans defense right now. Autry is picking up a lot of slack. He is playing really good on the outside on pass plays. He made a couple good plays. He saved a lot for the Titans. He's a really good pickup for the Tennessee Titans. So Danico Autry meshing very well on our defensive line. He's getting a lot of pressures also. Secondary played really bad yesterday, but Christian Fulton played the best out of everybody. Him and Byard, but Christian Fulton especially played very well yesterday. He did have a really good interception, and he was really good in coverage. The bad in the game against the Jets, Titans secondary played pitiful yesterday. I've heard interviews where the DBs say that they get the discretion to play up close or give a cushion to their man. Coaches need to take that discretion away from them because these guys are getting burnt, giving too much cushion away on these third down plays. We're letting these receivers just get by us every chance, and I don't like what I'm seeing from the secondary. Tennessee's Titans offensive line had probably one of its worst games, even worse against the Arizona game. At least in the Arizona game, you had Chandler Jones, who's a freaking beast. But I couldn't name anybody worth a damn on the Jets defensive line. We made nobody's look like somebody's again. I didn't like what I was seeing. In conclusion, we did not deserve to win that game in overtime against the Jets because we should not have been in overtime against the Jets. We should have steamrolled them, beat them, and battered them, smothered and covered them. That's what should have happened in that game, but it didn't happen. So we didn't deserve to win or get a dang draw. We deserved that L, and we need to reflect on that L. The Titans players do. Me as a fan, I look at this team differently now. We're a 9-win team at best. Y'all need to come to grips with that, Titans fans. 9-win team at best. We're going to beat the teams in our division because we're better than them. And that's it. We're not fighting for the AFC Championship. That's out the window. We don't have the defense for it. We don't have the offensive line for it. So it's not going to happen. Good teams are going to demolish us like the Arizona Cardinals did. The Jets gave everyone the template. You throw the ball, 50-50 balls, and you got a good chance of getting it. Because we were throwing our 50-50 balls to Cameron Batson. Again, we're going to win the division. The Colts are bad. Houston Texans are irrelevant. Jacksonville Jaguars are probably going to get this the biggest challenge this year because they got good pieces in place. It's just a bad organization. But expectations need to be tempered for Titans fans and Titans nations. We're not that team. Again, we're not that team. Thank you for enjoying my content. This is Workplace Sports Talks. I'm your guy, Tim That Talk. If you like my content, please subscribe and hit that like button. It helps out a lot. Thank you for the support. See you next time. Tighten up.